Okay guys, it's time for us to do our discovery drills. So we're going to do it in basically we're going to do them all in succession, the tactics. So we're going to do discovered attacks first, and then discovered checks, and then double checks, okay? So let's get to it. So in this position on the board, we have the queen opposing the queen, but we need to move this bishop, so we go bishop b5 check, and the discovered attack because we get the queen for free, right? Check. We move our bishop with a gain of time and we get to take their queen for free, right? Next one. Okay, so this one again, the rook is indirectly attacking the queen, so we go bishop a6, attacking this rook and uncovering an attack on their queen, right? Pretty good. Next one. Okay, indirectly we're attacking their queen in this direction. We need to get rid of the bishop with a gain of time. So bishop takes a7 check, right? King takes, queen, right? Pretty standard. This one. This one's pretty good too. So this one, we could take this knight on e5 for free. The reason why is because if knight takes, queen takes, you see indirectly the bishop aims at his queen. And so we go knight b5 check, and see uncovers this attack from the bishop, and we get to take his queen, right? Alright, next one. Kind of straightforward. The bishop's indirectly attacking the queen. We move the pawn, which attacks his bishop and uncovers this discovered attack on his queen as well, right? Next one. Same thing, right? d5 attacks the queen, but discovered attack on this knight over here, right? Pretty good. Okay, black has a good move here. So this is black to move. See, the bishop indirectly attacks the queen. We just need to move the knight with a gain of time. So knight g4 check, attacks the king, uncovers the attack on the queen, right? So knight g4 check, nice move. And bishop will take it, but then we take the queen, and it's decisive, right? Okay, so this is an extension of that one. We can sacrifice our rook temporarily on d4. Rook takes d4, right? Queen takes, and then knight g4 check, right? So that's how that type of thing might come about, right? Okay, now this one, white to move. Indirectly, we attack the queen, so we just need to move the knight with a gain of time. So knight a6 check, discovered attack of their queen, right? Check, and we get to take the queen. Alright, more drills, alright. Same theme here, right? The queen indirectly attacks queen, knight check, and free queen, right? Pretty straightforward, but lethal. Okay, so here, indirectly attacks the rook. Need to move the bishop with the gain of time, so bishop check, king takes, rook takes, crush, right? Next one. Okay, what do we got? Okay, so we're gonna be attacking this indirectly. So bishop takes, knight takes, rook takes. So currently the rook was indirectly attacking the knight. So takes, right? Makes sense. Okay, this one's kind of nice. The rook indirectly attacking this, so we just attack the rook, and then we can take the bishop next move. If we go bishop c5, they can defend like this, right? So it's a cute little idea, bishop c7, and if he comes back, he's still not defending. Rook takes. Pretty nice idea. And now we're threatening a discovered attack again. Bishop takes check, followed by rook takes rook, right? Okay, cool. Again, we see the rook on the same line as the queen, so we move the bishop where it happens to attack the rook, and that's decisive. Okay, so, this is a very, very common idea. Rook on the same line as the queen, and we just move the bishop with a gain of time, right? Straightforward, bishop takes check, king takes, rook takes, queen. Win for white. Yes, see, this rook is unprotected, so bishop c4 check uncovers the discovered attack on the rook. Like check, rook takes, right? This one's nice as well. The rook indirectly attacking this rook, so we need to move the bishop with a gain of time, so bishop b4 gains time attacking the queen, right? And then we can take this rook on e8 with mate. Pretty good threat. What else? So, okay, again we have this familiar theme where the queen's unprotected. Bishop check, king takes, queen takes. Right? Pretty straightforward. Same thing, right? Same thing. Bishop takes check, king takes, queen takes. Winning position. Okay, queen, same old thing. Bishop takes check. Free queen. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. Alright, now Okay, yeah, this is an extension of that one. We can take on c7, because if the queen takes, we have this, right? That's an extension of the previous one. Okay, this one, same thing, queen's unprotected, so bishop check uncovers our discovered attack on the queen, right? Check, takes. Right, so these discovered attacks can be pretty lethal. This one's just an extension. This one, black to move. We see this unprotected white queen over here. So we play bishop h2 check, similar to the one we've seen with reverse colors before, right? Bishop take check, king takes queen. Discovery is very powerful here. Yeah, this is the same thing, is it? Oh, yes. So this one's interesting. We combine the themes. So we come here with the bishop to do a skewer, as we learned before. Bishop a6 makes a skewer. And if they take it, then we go bishop takes h2 check. That's actually really nice. It's combining two different themes, as we'll talk about soon. Bishop a6, queen takes, bishop check, king takes, queen. So we used a skewer and a discovered attack at the same combination. Pretty nice. Okay, this one, we see the queen here. All we need to do is get rid of our bishop with the gain of time. So bishop check, king takes, queen, right? Straightforward. This one's kind of easy. This bishop's hanging, right? So d5 attacks the queen and attacks the bishop with a discovered attack, right? Pretty powerful. Okay, this one, same type of idea. The queen is indirectly attacking the queen, so we just move the rook with a gain of time. Check, discovered attack on the queen, right? Queen takes queen. Right, next one. This one's kind of cute. King moves to attack this knight and uncovers another attack on the knight on d8. Pretty good. Okay, this one's straightforward, right? Oh, this one is discovered check now, okay? So those are the discovered attacks. We went through them very quickly. If you want, you can rewind back and go through them again. The reason why we go through them so quickly like this is because we're trying to force these patterns to go into your brain by making you absorb it. Like, you should be fully focused when doing this anyway. The discovered check, if you remember, is when we move the front piece and the king discovers he's in check, right? So we can move the piece to the front, check, and hunt the queen, and then they have to get out of check because it's checked with the piece behind, right? So yeah, this one, as we've seen, bishop check, and we can take the queen for free. What about the next one? Okay, so the rook is indirectly checking the king. We just need to move the bishop. Who can we aim for? We aim for the queen, check, and we take the queen, right? Or what about this one? There's a free bishop if we can do discovered check, right? Discovered check, and king moves and knight takes knight. Pretty good, right? So discovered check and takes the knight. What about this one? Okay, this one's kind of cool. We want to go bishop takes bishop check and then get this free queen, but it won't be check, so we need to make it check, right? So rook check is a temporary sacrifice. It's a pretty nice move, actually, and the king must take it. And you see now we've drawn him into where he's going to be in check. Bishop takes g7 check, king takes, queen takes queen. All right, hang on. That's actually a discovered attack. I don't know why it's in the discovered check section. Anyway, this is a nice discovered check. We can go discovered check and take a knight if we want to, but we can do actually better. Cover the escape square. Bishop f6, discovered check is actually mate, right? Check is mate, good. And similar here. If we move our bishop somewhere, it's going to be discovered check from the queen. And we want to cover the g7 square, so bishop f8, discovered check is mate as well. Pretty nice. Okay, why is the king or... it's black to move here. Okay, so black to move. How can it... Oh yeah, this is pretty cool actually. Black is in check, but he can block the check with his own bishop and uncover a check, a discovered check. So white probably went check here, and what black responds with bishop g6, discovered checkmate. Right, that's pretty cute. Bishop g6, discovered checkmate. Pretty good. This is pretty good. The bishop indirectly attacking the king. e2 discovered check, followed by mate here. Right. So discovered check from the bishop. Pretty nice. Right. Pretty nice. Okay. Here we have a similar concept. Right. D5 discovered check, and they'll be losing their queen. Nice tactic. This is pretty cool too. he sees that there's some options here. Queen takes d7 check is a nice move, and the point is that if the king takes, d takes c5, discovered check, and we get to take their queen as well, right? So first we have to draw the king onto the d file, where this discovery will be possible. So takes, check, really nice move. Here with d7 check. So d7 check uncovers the discovered check from the queen, and if the rook blocks, we can take this rook in the corner, right? So d7 discovered check is a nice move. This is quite nice as well. We want to do a discovered check here, but the queen's blocking our pawn, so we can actually go queen takes f8 check. Not check, just queen takes f8, take the rook, right? And if the queen takes, now we promote with the discovered check and get a free queen at the same time. Pretty nice. Okay. King g8, queen takes queen or whatever, right? This one, okay, so we see the rook indirectly attacking the king. Where does the knight move? He moves over to attack the rook, right? Knight e5, discovered check, and we get to take their knight for free, right? Nice tactic. This one, very common. Knight c6 check, discovered check, and we get to take their queen. Generally, the piece at the front is like a hunter. You can attack anything you want with it, and they still have to respond to the check, right? Like this one. Okay, where is the piece? The hunter, here's the attacker. What does the knight want to attack? The queen over here, right? So knight c5, discovered check, and we get to take the queen, right? And what about this one? All right, we have this situation. This queen looks juicy, so knight e4, discovered check, then we take the queen, right? These tactics are starting to get pretty straightforward, right? Queen takes b7. We can see that we want to use this situation, this loose queen here. Queen takes b7 check, king takes, and what is it? Knight c4, discovered check, and we get to take the queen next move, right? Check. All right. Okay, here we have some similar type of situation. Rook takes h6, king takes. We've drawn the king into the discovery situation, and knight takes d5, discovered check, and the knight's going to take the queen, right? Pretty nice. Okay, so this is pretty cool. We have this situation here. The king under serious attack, knight a5, discovered check, and king d8, let's say. Knight takes c6 is checkmate. It's nice. So we use the discovery there, knight a5, discovered check. Okay, we can. That's also a mate. But if king d8, knight c6 is a mate because we're taking advantage of an absolute pin, right? All the tactics we're learning bind together so well, right? Okay, this one, knight h6. That's a double check. Okay, it's a discovered check, but it's a double check as well. We're going to get to double checks anyway. So knight a6 double check, attacking the king with two pieces at once, and we have a familiar queen g8 check. This is called a smothered checkmate, which we'll look at in another course. Queen g8 check, and they take knight f7 checkmate, right? That should be in the double check section, not discovered check section. But anyway, okay. So here we see this discovered check, and we get to take the queen. Straightforward. Okay, so same thing here, right? Bishop takes c2, discovered check. Yep, bishop takes c2, discovered check from the rook, and we get to take the queen, right? Again, pretty straightforward. Just like here, we want to get this knight for free, so bishop e8, discovered check, and then we take this. Okay, Yeah. Okay, that's some extension. Oh, sorry. Okay, so yeah, here we have the rook, and the bishop is indirectly attacking the king. So the rook looks around what it can attack. It can attack this bishop. So rook takes b6, discovered check, and we get the bishop free. Okay. Here black is checking the white king, but white can block with his rook. And the black queen can't take because we're blocking with a discovered check, so we get to take their queen. Pretty nice check, and then we take their queen, right? Well, this is pretty cool. Queen takes b6 is a very nice move, actually. Queen takes b6, opening up this this diagonal, right? Queen takes b6, and if pawn takes, then we go rook here, discovered check from the bishop, right? Rook check, and then we take their queen, right? That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. All right. Okay, this is pretty straightforward. Check. Right, the bishop guards, of course, king here. And there's a lot of things we can do here, like discoveries, but he found an easier way. Just check. The king must take, because it's also check with the bishop. That's actually double check as well. King takes, rook g1 is mate, because these squares are guarded. Pretty nice. Okay, so here we go, another check. So, check. This check here is, this example here is what's called a windmill, right? You know, because a windmill goes around and around and around, right? The way this works is we go check, discover check from there, king here, and then check, and the king can't go to here, so he has to go back to the corner, and we go check, and we take another piece, and we repeat the process, right? So it's pretty interesting the way we can repeat the, like, check, 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 and then we take, and then there were 3 pieces up, so it's an easy win. We're going to see an awesome windmill example coming up in the game section. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. Check, discovered check from the bishop, check, discovered check from the bishop. They must block, and then we take in as mate, right? So that's a cool discovery. Discovered check, check, discovered check, and it's going to be game over. So now we're moving on to double check. So we looked at discovered attack, we looked at discovered check, now we'll look at double check. Now, one of the reasons why double check is so powerful is because when we check with 2 pieces, they can't block, they must move their king, right? For example, in this position, knight f6 uncovers the check from the queen and checks directly with the knight. And they can't take the queen because it's still checked with the knight, and they can't take the knight because it's still checked with the queen, so that's actually a checkmate. Alright, double check's very powerful, as I said. So they should have done something else probably there. Just like this one, the rook will be checking, and we can check directly with the bishop too. So bishop b5, double check, also is checkmate because it checks with 2 pieces at the same time. Double check is very powerful. This one, okay, so rook indirectly attacks the king. We use the bishop to check the king, and that's a double check. They can't take the bishop because it's checked with the rook as well. Double check, and then rook d8 checkmate. Pretty cool. Okay, that's just an extension of the other one. Here, similar idea to before. Knight f3, double check, check with the knight and the queen, and they can't take either piece because it's checked with the other one, right? So the king has no way to escape, so that's a double checkmate, in fact. And this here is the exact same theme, right? We can go knight f6, and it's a double check, so it's mate as well, right? They can't take anything because they can't move their king, etc. Just like this one, same thing, knight g6 check. The nice thing about it is that they can have a million pieces attacking, but if it's double check, it doesn't matter. You know, it's like a magic move. I used to love double checks actually when I was younger as well. Just like this one. This is a common idea. Black takes on f1, directly checking the king, but uncovering the check from the bishop as well. So that's double check, and it's mate because there's no way out of it, right? Pretty nice. Okay, this one. So we go knight c5, double check. Right, direct check from the knight, uncovered check from the bishop, right? Knight c5, double check, king b8, knight a6, checkmate. Beautiful checkmate. Those squares are guarded by the bishop, of course. This one. Okay, so how does this work? Rook b8 check. Okay, yep. King takes, knight takes d7, double check. Okay, fair enough. And this one, so black is threatening a million ways to beat us, right? But queen g7 check, beautiful queen sacrifice, right? They can take it, but then we have this lineup that's becoming pretty familiar to us now, right? King takes, knight f5, double check, king g8, knight h6, checkmate as well, right? These double checks are pretty damn good. Bishop takes f7 check, king takes. Same thing here, knight e5 check. king e8, queen f7, checkmate. Right? This one. Knight f7 check, king g8, knight h6 check. Similar to before, now they can't take out queen because it's also check with the knight, so king here, check, takes, and knight f7, checkmate. And this one is one of my favorites. Queen takes h7 check, king takes, knight f6, double check, right? King h8, knight g6, checkmate. Pretty nice. This one, pretty standard, just bishop, see they're pinning our rook, but it's not a big deal. Bishop d6, double check. They don't have time to take either piece. And so king moves, bishop takes bishop. Pretty good. Okay, so yeah, this one's good too. So we're a whole queen down. He has his queen, but we can go bishop d3, double check. Right, check with the bishop and the rook at the same time. So bishop d3 check, king moves, rook f1, checkmate. So there's double checks, very powerful. Just like this one. Let's see. Yeah, so again, we see a similar thing. They're forking us here, and it looks like we're in trouble, but bishop g5, double check. King moves, rook d8, checkmate. All right, so you can see these recurring themes. These double checks are the most powerful discovery because the king must move, because we're attacking the king with two pieces at once by moving one piece. It's a very nice idea. So we've had a look there at a lot of puzzles. Discovered attack, discovered check and double check, and now hopefully you have some basic familiarity with the themes. And in the next video I'm going to show you guys some examples of some pretty nice games where those themes were used. Alright, so I'll see you in that one.